Also, George, for you to know too, in case for future homeowners too, Nielsen says that I can damn, they're both weak. I have to add more return vents, if possible, or I can return vents, which is the vents that like suck the air rather than blow out the air. Or I can make my door shorter and add gaps under the bottom of the door, and that'll help the air flow out, which is interesting. Also, it says that the reason why the rooms get hot is because the sucking vent is outside, and so the air actually gets trapped in here. So it's not that it's not pushing air in here, it's that the hot air is getting stuck, which again makes sense as to why like the office gets really hot, because of all the computers and all the shit that's running in here, you know, constantly pushing hot air.
Gosh, interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, that's mostly why I'm dying and tired all the time at night now, is because these rooms are hot as fuck.
No, I don't understand. That sucks.
But when the air is pushing, like it's nice and cold, dude. I'm cold right now. It's pushing. And again, I'm wearing a sweater and shit.
What's your plan? Are you gonna add the vent?
No, again, I just read this right now. I'm figuring out. I think it's easier to just make my door shorter somehow. I need to replace some of these doors anyway, because like some of them don't fully close right and shit, so. And apparently buying doors is cheap. The guy, our main contractor who did everything at first, was supposed to do them, but there's quite a few things that he just fucking didn't do or are lazy. I don't know if you remember the dishwasher story, but that was one of them. And
yep.
So we're just
dishwasher story.
out of here. Yeah, dude. So I'll tell you this one then. Like I said, I told you right now, I fixed like $1 billion worth of shit in this fucking house already. And one of them was. So at the beginning we had this like main contractor who was not a full big mistake, but it was just a mistake when it was our realtor's like husband.
That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And so then but he in reality he did a good job, but he just got weird at the end, right? Like he did a lot of things in the house and pretty well, but like some of the things he said that were going to be easy and fast were not, and then all the things that he was like, oh, this is going to take a while, like he did them easier, and then other things we just asked him to do, like he just completely just didn't do them at all, and I was like, okay, like what the fuck happened here, you know? It's so random. And so one of the weirder things that he did was we had him, like, we bought all of our new appliances through his Connect at Brandsmart. It wasn't a Connect, it was just a random nigga, you know, and he installed them all, right? He installed the fridge and the dishwasher and shit. And when he installed the dishwasher, he connected it to a light switch in the kitchen rather than like a always running power source, and I didn't know that, and he said that he didn't know that, and I mean that he did it right, and the conversation basically went in my, like, what I remember, right? This is what I told him. I didn't say that, like, he told me this. I said, this is how the conversation went exactly. I went up to him, I was like, hey, what is that light switch in our kitchen for? You know, it doesn't do the light for the kitchen, it does something else. And he's like, that's for a garbage disposal. And I was like, okay. And I was like, does it work? And he's like, yes. And I was like, okay. So I assumed that meant we had a garbage disposal installed.
Right.
Right. And so I was like, okay. So then he installs everything. He leaves. It's for like a week or two after, and we're moving in, right? And I have stuff in the sink, and I was like, okay, I'll just use the garbage disposal. And I flipped the switch while the dishwasher's running, and the whole like fucking thing just goes and like short circuits and shit because I turned off the fucking dishwasher light, like power source. while it's running and shit. And I was like, yeah, what the fuck? So like I called him, and I was like, hey, like what's the deal with this, you know? And then like he's not responding, and then I like texted him. I was like, hey man, told him I had a garbage disposal, and I definitely don't have one, and like now my dishwasher doesn't work because I turned off this light while it was running. I was like, what was the point of that? And he's like, no, he's like, I never told you you had a garbage disposal. And I was like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, we had this conversation, dude. And then I was like, you know what, never mind. And so like I call a electrical company to come and fix it. And they tell me that he never wired that plug right. Like in that plug in the kitchen, you're always supposed to have one that's always running power for the dishwasher, so that you don't accidentally turn it off, and then the other one for the garbage disposal that you can turn on and off, right? And I was like, okay. And he's like, but they were both set to the light switch. And I was like, yeah, we learned that. So then they had to fix it, and they charged me like another, like I think $200 or something. To like for literally 10 seconds of work for them to fix the fucking light switch to be on goddamn, you guys, with this, for them to like make it so that only one of the outlets was to power and then the other one was always running. And I was like,
wild, dude.
Yeah, like it was super dumb. For rushing these guys too.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh. I can't be doing better than you.
Yeah, pressure.
That's interesting. The fire guy's vault, you can just pop
Holy
it and hold
shit.
it.
I went off, dude. 48 in dumb is wild. I don't know how to record that game.